All right, welcome back or welcome in. I'm Charmaine. I'm going to get you started on a reading and see what's going on with the energy out there. I'm going to use this Seasons of the Witch in Bulk Oracle. If you're not familiar with Imbolc, hopefully pronouncing that correct, that is the time. It is a Wiccan or pagan holiday, but what it marks is the halfway point between winter and spring, and that's the season that we're in. And I just thought it was remarkable as I sat down to get going. The card on the bottom of the deck is Aquarius energy here. Let's see. And it says, all are capable of dreaming, but it is those who surrender to vision who are visionaries. And that is the energy that this reading is taking place. It certainly is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, it's an appropriate time for you to take the message into your life. But we are in the time of this reading of the Aquarius eclipse, new moon eclipse. It's also happening on the same day as the Lunar New Year. So it's the first new moon of the year for 2026. It's in Aquarius. So Aquarius is a visionary energy. So that is the message that's guiding this reading. I'll go ahead and pull another card while we're on together to see what other information or message is coming through for you. But Aquarius really asks us to think about, right? It's ruled by Uranus, to think about your dreams. What have you been dreaming about? And what is the vision? What are the downloads that have been coming to you? Because we all have access to our guides and our intuition. We just have to practice listening and then practice having the faith to take action. So that was the Aquarius energy, but this it's a lovely little card. Also a 4 card. That Aquarius card was a 4. This one's casserole. Casserole's interesting because we've got this setup of a dinner table and plates, and the message on the card says to trust in the flavors that led you here, in unexpected alignment. Let it move you in ways that capture your soul. Okay, so any of you cook out there? I used to hate casseroles as a kid because a casserole is a little bit of this and a little bit of that that's left over in the fridge. But then as I got to being an adult, I really appreciated those casseroles because it was a great way to take a little bit of this and a little bit of that was left over in my fridge and turn it into something absolutely superb. But a casserole is a little bit of a mix-up, right? A little mix of this and a little mix of that. Again, I mentioned the number 4 because for me, 4s are stability. It's not just me, right? Many people see 4s as stability. When I think of the 4 legs of a chair, thinking in terms of numerology, getting to a 4, it's Kitty bouncing around, getting to a 4 is after the 1 is the idea, the 2 is a partnership, 3 is the creation, and 4 is getting something quite grounded and stable. And then we get to a 5 where we begin to iterate and innovate. But this is a 4, which is about stability. And in this card, it is about what is stable for you in your life out of things that were really unexpected, right? Like taking some unexpected events that actually turned into something that is really going to expand or be something brand new, like that casserole. And so I guess the way I'm really kind of taking this in as a message for you all is, where in your life have you taken some unexpected turns that have actually led to something really wonderful and unexpected? And the message here, we had that vision card, which was a 4, and this casserole card as well, which is a 4. And talking about alignment is to understand that those unexpected detours were intended for you to go in a particular direction for your soul. Because it is in the unexpected where you're going to find great gifts. And I'm definitely getting this energy of a partnership. There's some kind of partnership or new people coming into your life. And right, so I see these like 2 candles kind of burning down. So those are relationships that may have run their time, right? Like a candle contains a certain amount of energy. And relationships are like that. We have jobs, it could be family, be our children, they grow up and move on, whatever it is. But those things have reached sort of the ends. And kind of like that casserole, right? We have the little odds and ends, a little bit of, maybe vegetables left over, and add a little of this and that, and we get a casserole. But it is time to bring, for new ways to bring together your experiences of the past, right? So the experience and the wisdom is that candle burning down. Now we have that nub. And what do you do with that nub of wax? Well, you could melt it down and create a new candle. And that is exactly where this message is going for you all out there in the collective. I've got this split, Ace of Cups and 10 of Swords, right? So it really is time for something new. So something is done, right? That candle burning down is done. And to have a lot of trust, right? This trust in the flavors that led you to this place, even led you to this reading, whatever may have brought you to this conversation, is to trust. Trust in what life is, what is happening for your highest and best good. That is a mantra. I know that other people have said this. I feel that popping right on out. A mantra. Everything is always working out in my highest and best good. I don't know if any of you have ever followed or heard of Louise Hay. I think she was really very brilliant in helping to really pioneer the idea of affirmations and mainstream that. She's also the founder of Hay House, which is a spiritual publishing company. She has since passed on, but everything is always working out in your highest and best good is such an awesome affirmation, especially when you're going through these turbulent times and going through change and not understanding how anything could come together out of these fragmented pieces of your life. That's the casserole, right? And being able to sort of whip up a dish out of the odds and ends of life. Well, that dish are the experiences that you get to have. And so in that cut, right, you have that Ace of Cups, new energy, new happiness, new heart's desire coming in. What brings you joy? Because the old self, right, the old you is dissolved. I am going to just start off. I saw these 2 cards. I just felt these 2 cards wanting off, so I let them out of the deck. Page of Swords, right, is a message coming in. And King of Swords. Okay, wow. That is like an increase in focus and energy. So this is a message. Some of you out there, your souls have been really like trying to get you to pivot and move and Aquarius, change. You have to surrender to the vision. You have to surrender to the vision. You have a small idea that it's going to become a bigger one, but to get the bigger idea going, you have to stay focused. You have to carry the vision forward. You've been given the vision to take action. And so your soul is here. The message is really strong about pay attention. It's time to take action in that direction. Where are you? 4 of Swords. So I did see that 10 of Swords, right? Like we're not gonna we're not going to pretend that that didn't show up. That means a pretty rough ending, right? I talk about these odds and ends. You're going through some jumbling up and being tossed around, and possibly, most likely, a bit of death of the ego, right? This self that this persona we may have carried that no longer can go forward. And you can think in terms of an identity if you've had a change in job or a change in relationship, that also impacts who you think you are. But you're coming through, you're in this energy of healing. You're also in this energy of learning to meditate. So for some of you out there, good job, because you've been practicing being able to receive the wisdom, receive the messages, and your soul, right? Like your soul, like I'm definitely getting in, like, good job. They're saying, hey, what you're hearing is right. And I know when I first really looked into meditation, like, what is this thing of meditation? And I think we can complicate it a lot more than it needs to be. And it is simply those voices you probably have been hearing your whole life that whisper to you an idea, a thought, an impression. Meditation allows us to just be still enough to hear, and also to separate out our own internal voice from all of the chatter and the noise and the fear of the mind. So I'm definitely getting a sense that for many of you, you're getting messages, you're learning how to tap into your intuition, tap into the spiritual realm, into your soul, and hear those messages. So your soul is saying, yeah, we want your attention. I want your attention. We've got the 9 of Pentacles coming in front of you here. That's self-confidence. You got a little bit of a glow up going on, and confidence to move forward, to take action on those goals. And so I'm definitely getting a sense of that. That's where you're focused. Not there yet. Where have you been? Queen of Swords. Okay, lots of swords. Lots and lots. Okay, so this is about the mind. And so I mentioned meditation, and there's a real need to separate out what is coming in from your guides versus what doesn't belong to you. So we can hear a lot of things in our minds. Some of that is fear in the collective, right? We're connected to the collective. Know the difference. And those are thoughts that, how do I know if I'm picking up on something like that? When was the last time? Oh, I don't know. I might be watching a television show and I get a particular idea about something I hadn't thought about. But then I have to reflect and ask myself, well, does that even make any sense to me? And sometimes it does, and that's a sign that's come in. And sometimes it's just the panic of the world. And so, or I'll have a phone call. Sorry, I've just have this. I go to my kitty sits up here, and sometimes the hairs fly around. But I'll get a phone call, and someone is in this state of, oh my gosh, did you hear or did you see? And I might find myself being pulled into that energy and knowing how to say, wait a minute, this is not my reality. Oh, here's a great one that's been coming up for me. Recently, I like to watch tarot on YouTube as well. And lately, some of the readers I follow, the messages don't resonate, right? So there's always that message like, take what resonates and leave the rest. And I'm talking about readers I followed for years. And lately, nothing. I'm like, this is not my story. This is not my experience. And it is interesting because I've followed some of them for a while. And you think, well, have I shifted timelines? And that is a possibility, right? Certainly there's been readers I've followed in the past that I don't, because I've changed, I don't have those kinds of questions. So the information they channel in isn't really necessarily helpful to my journey. And so being able to have that discernment, and that's where you've been, like Queen of Swords, figuring out what is yours and what isn't yours. New messages are coming in now. King of Swords is really about taking action and figuring out which ones of those that you do need to take action on, and then having the confidence to move forward. What's holding you in place and blocking you? Justice. Okay, well, I mean, right off the bat, some of you have contracts that need to be broken, or not contracts need to be broken, but like you have soul contracts that are done. That's what I want to say. You can't break a soul contract. Not really. But you have soul contracts that are done, and you're still hanging out in spaces that you need to move on from. I saw the Ten of Swords, and it is really time. You've done the healing work. It's time to move forward. What else is holding us back? This is Libra energy. There could be a Libra in your life that's holding you back. There could be some fears around the legal commitments involved in taking action. Right? So maybe something you want to take action on does involve the law. Financially, there could be paperwork if you want to start a new business, but there's something that's holding you stuck in place. Could be a karmic situation, right? So the spiritual contract, it's got you locked in. So I'm going to clarify this card because I want to know more about where that sits. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that now. So what's this Justice card about? I don't want to go any further until I see what's behind Justice, right? This 10, okay, money, money, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so first, that was the first thought. Some of you out there need to go through some type of divorce or separation, but you're holding back because there's money. Others of you, it could be a job. You want to change job, but you're worried about money. Right. And this is generational wealth. This is something that has a pretty strong foundation. Maybe you want to move and sell your house, but you're concerned about money, or buy a house, money, right? So money is what is holding you in place, and old money, right? This 10 of Pentacles is an old money situation. And then five of Wands, a conflict around it. Okay. So there's other people who have something invested in the money. Seven of Pentacles. You have to decide where you want to go, right? Seven of Pentacles is like, okay, I planted this beautiful garden. It's so great. It's so wonderful. I love it. But do I want to keep putting more and more energy, investment, and time into it? I would say you don't. You don't. Like, everything on here is saying you're being guided away from whatever you've invested in the past, and you're just, you've gotten the guidance. That's why this reading has come in. Aquarius energies. It's time to do something new. Those candles have burned down, whatever that contract is done, right? You're kind of reached the end. You're at the end of that soul contract with someone or something. It is really time for something new. You need the confidence to do it. So I'm seeing a lot of air energy and a lot of earth energy, the Pentacles. So having the confidence to step out, right? The confidence to come out of this situation. Well, I don't know. Let's see the soul lesson. More swords. I think I didn't shuffle the deck. Of course, the deck is very well shuffled. 8 of Swords. That is you have to set yourself free. Some of you are in a real, you have this karmic tie, this karmic connection, and to learn your power and to set yourself free. You are definitely being asked to break the whatever is holding onto you, and it's holding onto you from this 10 of Pentacles. Money is locked you in place. You hold the key to your freedom. You just need the confidence to step forward. You've already gotten the message. You know which direction to go. You need to begin that plan. That's that King of Swords. You need to get moving. This casserole, there's the other thing about this casserole picture. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's very old-fashioned, right? It's got this, like, casseroles are kind of an old-fashioned thing, and like I said, when I was a kid, I really didn't like them, and they were very, very popular. It was a popular kind of thing to have served, whether it was not so much in my house. I didn't come from a very traditional household. My mom worked when a lot of moms weren't working, and worked a lot. And but a lot of my friends' parents and then like a lot of their grandparents, and not so much my grandparents. My family came from a line of people working. Women were working all the time. That was not a women were always working in my lineage, but that isn't the story for everyone. And that's what this picture is. It's sort of this, I mean, either you were sitting at this table or you were serving this table, right? But something very outdated and old-fashioned that we need to take the best parts of it and what we've learned and mix up. It's time to do something new, right? There's something about the tried and true in this card that is really keeping you stuck, right? It's really keeping you stuck and locked in place. All right, so what's coming in to help you? Let's see. Nine of Pentacles. It's slow, right? There's just this slow build to what it is you want to do. So allow something to unfold in its time. But it's time to start taking those steps forward. Bit by bit, you're going to start seeing the progress, but it isn't going to happen overnight. There's no way, there's no way you're unearthing this just boom, right? These are pentacles. Pentacles is our physical reality. It takes a long time to create a physical reality, going from an idea to the reality that we create and build. It also takes a long time for that to change. It begins in the mind with an idea. The idea has already arrived for you. So it is now time to begin to take those steps and keep moving forward. You're worried about this Five of Wands. I don't know who's holding, where that conflict piece is. Let's see a little bit about that. Ace of Pentacles. You're worried about money. You're worried about money. If I make this change, it's going to cause a disruption. Yes, 100%. Okay. So you're going to stay here for the money. Ace of Cups. At that split, going from the Ten of Swords to the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is, what does your heart want? Remember, everything we create in this world, including our bodies, they stay on earth. Our soul moves on. And what it takes is all of the experiences and joy and memories and connections, right? The energy goes with us, not the stuff. Okay. So what are you energetically tying yourself to? It's time to unbind and go towards your joy. What else about this Five of Wands? Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Eight of Cups. It's time to move on. It isn't like whatever you built didn't bring you joy. It did. It did. It got you to the place you're in. Wonderful. Like those candles, they burn down to, they served their time. They had their energy. It was a wonderful time. It could be, I use the example of having children. You're in a parenting role for a time, and then the children have their own lives to live. There's nothing wrong with the transition. It's just done. It's the karmic contract is finished. Holding on and holding yourself in place at this point in time will keep you stuck. It's happening because of the money. Last piece of that, Eight of Pentacles, is going to take a little bit of work too. Yeah, it is. You're going to invest in it though, because that investment is an investment in you. Okay, that's who you're investing in now. All right, last card I'm going to read here is, what is your next right move? Two of Swords. What is obviously missing in this reading? We have only one wand, only one bit of fire, and it's a five. And it's other people's fire. It's other people's goals, other people's passion. You're very clear with all of these swords. This Two of Swords is continue your meditation practice. Continue to hear your dreams. Continue to move in the direction of your dreams. Block out all the noise from everyone else. You are on the right path. You have the right idea, okay? And continue to stay focused on that idea. The obvious cards, the obvious energy that is not here is cups, not a single cup. And only one major arcana, the Justice. So not only is the contract you're in done, the new contract is waiting for you to step into it. The missing cup is your heart's desire, okay? You have stability. You may have some comfort and resources, but what's missing is the joy. And that is where you're headed. And so it is now time, right? It is time to mix it up. Going back to this casserole. It's time to change it up. So I hope this message helps you all out there. Bye.